This is fascinating, and this is why this approach to the law is different. And it's why it's so huge and it's so novel. Look, we could probably do another 5 hours of podcast on what I'm about to say next, but this is what keeps us from being AI proof. Because if you just put people into these groups, good or bad, you just judge them on the exact number of prior convictions that they have or prior interactions that they've had with in a domestic scenario. Essentially, it's just a computer algorithm, and it just pops out what the result should be.
I've had other organizations come to me and say, "What did you do with this client? We couldn't talk to them last week." And now that I've had therapists in jails now reach out to me and say, what did you do? Like, your client is like, she was going to therapy, like, she's doing better than anyone else. No one's doing this, and she's facing X, Y, and Z charges. You know, we don't see this. And the cool thing is that that's the response from the other side, and it sounds super cool. The problem is that until we learn to regulate our own personal neurology, then it's going to be futile, because we're not going to be able to get them regulated from a dysregulated neurology to begin with. And so that becomes then and then it does. I think that my method does not. I think my method does. It just requires 120 minutes just to show what a safe neurology is.
That's fascinating. Well, Charlie, I would like to move into some of these other things maybe the next time we talk about this, because as I said, I've got just about 30 years of experience in the criminal justice system in various ways, but this is maybe the first time I've ever seen anything this unique, man. So appreciate rapping with you as always.
Who do you think, now that you've seen this, who do you think this would help? Who watching this that has a loved one that's dealing with these kinds of things, even if we don't represent them at our law office, if they're not in Virginia, this litigation stress stuff we can help with from afar.
From my experience, certainly anybody who has a loved one in the criminal justice system, certainly someone who is presently going through the criminal justice system. More interestingly, other attorneys who have that client who know exactly what to do with the guidelines, know exactly what to do with the prosecutor, know exactly how to speak to the judge, know exactly how to address a jury, who understand all of these things, but they can't get their client to see what the real issue is.
The rationality.
They can't communicate with the client, because that's a completely different skill from all the other things I just described. Or I can also see any sort of mediation scenario where you have two sets of attorneys who are equally powerful, equally intelligent on either side, but they can't come to the middle, and what they don't understand is that there is the perspective that needs to be from the center, the person who's really the arbiter of what's going on.